Hello, today we're gonna make hamburger and chili hamburger basically. You want onion nicely squared, chopped and finely chopped on the left. You want some thick bacon in a hot pot, draining all that fat. The key is the bacon fat. And then we're gonna get some 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of Italian sausage. You can use 1 pound of pork because you want the fat to make the flavoring of it. And the seasoning we're going to be using is salt, pepper. Let's see here, salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Then we'll use smoked paprika. We'll use some parsley. Probably use fresh one outside. We have fresh parsley. We'll have powdered onion. What else do we have here? We use fresh basil outside. If you use fresh seasoning, use fresh seasoning. We use ground ginger. I think we have fresh ginger. I just gotta find it. Italian seasoning. We'll use fresh rosemary as well. Let's see, what else do we have back here? No. Yeah, we're going to use smoked paprika instead. That's the only thing I can think of right now, but if I add some more, I'll let you know. You need panko crumbs. You need at least 2 eggs. And yeah, and I'm not making chili from scratch. That'll be for another video. I'm going to be using canned chilies, 2 of them, but I'll be putting some bacon fat in there and some ground beef and Italian sausaging in there as well. But usually you want to get 1 can of with beans, another can with no beans. You want to get jalapenos, chop it out to put in the chili as well. I can make fresh ones, but it's going to take about 4 to 5 hours to make actual fresh chilies. So my wife and my mom wants hamburger, my wife wants chili hamburger, so that's how we're going to do it for this video. So yeah, so I'll let you know when we're about more towards the mixing area. I got my fresh thyme, parsley, and basil. I washed it. I'm using a towel to dry them off. Because you don't want any moisture making a hamburger will fall apart while cooking. Just for you gotta crush some garlic, about 3 to 4 cloves. Some for the hamburger and some for the chili as well. And you want to preheat the oven around 200 degrees. Actually, no, make it about. Let's see what we have here. You don't want 350. That means you're going to burn the fuck out of your bacon because we're going to make some bacon bits on top of the chili. So you want about 180. You're basically going to dry them off. That's all. So let that preheat. Then you're going to need a tray pretty much with a strainer in it. If you're like me, I don't really care to store everything in the damn pot. Damn tray, pretty much going to use this pizza tray. Line it up nice and neat, but that's not deep enough, so I'm going to use a baking tray. You want a little bit deep because you know that oil will more spill out while the bacon dries up. So you have a cooling rack, put that on top. And then put the bacon in. It's will be a lot more quicker to dry off, just letting you know. And crush them into bacon bits. But yeah, in a bit, after the bacon's almost done, we're going to get stuff ready. I'll get all the ingredients ready and everything else as well. Okay guys, so we have a little bit of, this is finely crushed. This much seasoning you need. We'll use half of it for the hamburger. That's a rice bowl, panko crumbs. I just chopped up the parsley, basil, and thyme that was outside from the garden. That's my jalapeno. That's my garlic. 1 egg. There's a hamburger and 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of Italian sausage. You use ground pork if you like. If you use ground pork, regular ground pork, you want to use a lot more seasoning for it. But Italian, you want to use less seasoning on this because a lot of the seasoning is in the Italian pork. As well, Italian sausage as well. I'm reducing the water out of the fat from the bacon, and the bacon's already in. I'll do about 250 degrees for it, about 30 minutes. But they're going to be nice and red and brittle, and break it up into making bacon bits. So we're going to put our stuff in, a little bit of the seasoning. We want to mix it a bit. So. A little bit more. That'll go. The rest will go in the chili. But I mix it all up really good, so so you want half of that. The other half will go to the other half will go to the chili. So you want not too much, very little finely chopped onions. It's kind of hard doing one hand and one hand doing the other ones because onion has a lot of moisture in it. So does garlic. We'll put some garlic in there as well. We're gonna mix it up. 1 yolk of egg, help bind, and panko gram to put everything together and draw all that moisture out. So I'm gonna need both hands to mix it. So yeah, just letting you know. Just to let you know, I got 5 patties, nice decent size 5. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, you might get like 10 out of 10 mini sliders out, 10 to 12 mini sliders out of it for the 2 pound. But letting you know, when you're cooking this hamburger, it's going to produce a lot of fat into the pan. So you want very little bacon fat. You can strain the bacon fat and use it, or you use it as it is. I like to use it like that for the chili, with all the bits of bacon and shit running around. I mean, very little of that, and put in a bigger saucepan than that to cook my hamburger. Just to let you know, this is a tip. Don't need that much bacon fat because that's half Italian sausage, and Italian sausage pork produce a lot of fat. Just to let you know, you want to use the flavor of it for it. If you guys are health conscious, you can use olive oil or you can use butter. Butter's pretty good too. Just to let you know. A little the fat warming up the pan right now. This is the bacon right here. I'm reheating the temperature for it. So now we're going to use onion. A lot of onion for this chili. Small and thick cut. We're going to use jalapenos. We'll sweat that off. Then we're going to use garlic. Don't use the seasoning yet until everything's reduced. Well, you can use a little bit of the seasoning. Not going to hurt much. It has the salt and pepper in it. I want to add more of it because the canned has a lot of sodium in it. So we use less salt as possible, and the bacon has a lot of salt in it as well. Also keep an eye on your bacon, make sure it's not burnt to shit. So you want to mix that around. Let that sweat off nice and soft. Then we'll add some little water in the can. So on as well. So I don't think we'll add meat on it. I think it'll be a I don't have any extra meat. Actually, I could add one of the hamburgers in here. So I think I'll do that after it's off. So okay, nice and soft. I am going to use one of these patties and break it apart. Get the smallest of them all. That's the smallest, I think. And we're going to break it apart with a fork. Make sure to wash that hand of yours. So my right hand's dominant, so I can hold this with the left. Go and break it apart, mix it until it's fine, like ground beef again. Or you crumble it apart on top, but I'm using a camera, so so yeah. You want to break it apart until it's nicely, not too cooked, but because when you add the chili with the flavoring and everything else as well. So if you look at the ground beef, it's not really cooked at all. That's when you want to add your seasoning, your fresh seasoning, if you have any. If not, dry is fine. Mix that a bit. Then you want to add your chilies in.
Sounds dead.
I know. That's fine. Add your chilies in. You don't want to make it too thick or too liquidy. If it is, you can reduce the water off of it, or you can add cheese to help it thicken it up. But if it's too thick, then you want to add a little bit of water, not too much. So I'm going to mix that up a bit. Nope, I'm at my feet.
Yeah.
So, and if you're disabled like me, you want to use the tabletop to hold your weight, so that you can actually move around a bit, but you always remember to have the stool next to you as well. Then now we have hamburger right here. We'll let that cover.
Here's a stool.
Alright, I'll use the cover for it. My God, my knees are getting worse and worse. Want to put the hamburger? I had to turn it off. I had to go buy canned chili. We were out. I didn't know about it, so it's fine. If it's really, you want to get it really hot and steaming, but just put the hamburger in here. You don't want to flip it, squeeze it, or anything else. You want to flip it like within 5 to 10 minutes. One side's nice. My wife and my mom like well done. I like medium rare, so mine's gonna be out a lot quicker than they are. And you want to find a nice dome or a lid to cover it up when it gets really hot for the steam. Just to let you know. Okay, so that's cooking. I raised the bacon to 300 degrees because I want it cooked when it's done, but keep an eye on it. Always keep an eye on it. You don't want burnt ass bacon. So yeah, so we'll get back to you when it's almost done. So I put in some, I used the lid to cover it up, a little water for the steam. So let that melt a bit before I take it out. But yeah, I'm using a pizza pan for it. Let's see what we have here. I want to use a bowl because I'm going to eat it out of a bowl. Because I'm a very messy person, so. Need some bread.
I'm not gonna use bread.
Or you need the bun. Burger for it.
No, I'm just using a bowl.
So this is. I didn't go out and buy some hamburger rolls, but this will do. More of it. Let me touch my knees on this. But yeah, let me get this in. Let me get this cheese nice and melted.
I think I'm sick.
You got me sick. That's why I've been sleeping all the time. The cheese now almost melted. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I really don't care. So if you want to let the cheese melt a little bit more, go for it. Put that in there. I'm going to cover it up. Turn off the heat. I don't need any more.
Lance, I need to go blow my nose.
Just turn it off. Now, we're going to add some chili to this motherfucker. I'm going to use my right hand. So here's the chili. I added cheese on this, just letting you know. It's a little bit thick. You want more? That's why I won't get a bowl because it's messy. It'll be a very messy little thing right there. But yeah, this is it. Chili hamburger. SSI, thick patty, chili and stuff. I'm going to cover this whole thing with chili. Just letting you know. But I'm going to take a picture of it. Did I capture it? I think so. I'm going to smother this sucker with chili. Oh yeah. I'm going to add some more cheese on it. Here's your fat man's cheap chili. But I'll make chili from scratch. If you guys want to, leave it in the comment. Put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you haven't. And also click the notification bell for more videos as well. Thank you guys for watching.